celebrate 21 years of talent and witness a new chapter of legends emerge. The COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship. Be a part of history as the future stars of Africa shine bright. Only on Quest and Play.
Mopani Copper Mines, proud title sponsor of the 2018 COSAFA Under-20 Championship. Mopani, mining safely for the future.
He provides and it falls into the back of the net. Yes, South Africa are the champions of the COSAFA Under-20 Championship.
Zambia's mining city, Kitwe, sets up a very perfect festival of football festivity in as far as the 2018 COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship is concerned. This is obviously day 6 of the championship, and of course we expect so much drama to come to the fore in as far as this afternoon's encounter is concerned between Zimbabwe up against Angola. A must-win encounter for Angola in as far as the tournament is concerned. Don't forget to tell us your opinions. Tell us how you're finding the tournament in as far as you're concerned. This is of course the COSAFA Under-20 Championship. It's hashtag Quest of Football, and we'll be more than glad to hear from you as we beat up to the rest of the games remaining in this year's tournament. And of course, we've seen 35 goals scored in 13 games played so far, and we can only anticipate that we're in for a very, very interesting finish and as far as this tournament is concerned. Alongside me here is Noah Chivuta, Zambia's export to Thailand, and of course 2012 AFCON winner, and of course Timothy Batabayo, who is the Ugandan international, joining me here on the pitch side as we talk about this one, the big one for Angola, a must-win for Angola if they are to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Gentlemen, welcome to the match beat-up. Your impression, first of all, Noah. What do you make of what has happened so far as far as this tournament is concerned? 35 goals scored. Are you impressed?
Yes, you know what, it's a very, very good return in terms of goals. Last year in 2017 we had only 39 goals, and this year we only 13 games, and we have already produced only shy with 4 goals, and we reached the 39 goals. I think we're gonna go more than that. And you know, the previous year it was about 50 goals, so it was a decline last year. So it's a better improvement for this year. But the question is the defense becoming weaker or the strikers are becoming sharper? But on my take, it's at least you know, the coaches have really emphasized on winning and scoring more goals, because goals will win you games.
Let me throw that question you've raised to Tim. What do you make of that? Is it because we've got better strikers, or and defenders are found wanting?
I think for most teams we have noticed where we have seen midfielders taking the thinking capacity to another level, trying to release their strikers to get the ball. We have seen in that instance the goal that was scored by South Africa, playing deep into the striker and converting the chance. Those are the chances, and those are the passes that try to move the defenders out of their position. Until you move the defenders out of their position, you hardly get the goals. And then we have seen some brilliant goalkeeping, but again they are conceding goals. So for me it has been more improvement in the midfield going forward to the strikers. Yes, for the back line, it means that they're outthinking them. They need to go back to the drawing board, try and make it very tight. I understand why Noah Chivuta would love to see more goals, because he's a midfielder come striker. So it's very important to point out that yes, he's very impressed about that. But I'm more concerned about the movement and the back line. We need to have the midfielders and strikers to think more to try and score goals.
Let's now interest you to how the teams sit in the 3 groups of the championship. In Group A, there is obviously everything to talk about regards the host nation in Zambia, who are top with 7 points. They're followed by Mozambique, who are sitting second with 5 points. DRC Congo, who are out of the tournament, are third with 3 points. And of course, Malawi, who are equally out of the tournament with a point only in as far as Group A is concerned. In Group B, the defending champions, Amajita, have qualified already to the semi-final of the tournament. Second place is Mauritius, who have been booted out. The same can be said about third place Eswatini, who have no point whatsoever in as far as the tournament is concerned. Well, in Group C, it's Zimbabwe who are in command, and of course they've qualified to the next stage of the competition with 6 points. It's Angola who are second with 2 points, while Botswana are third with 1 point, and Lesotho have a point only. All right, and day 6, of course, sees us witnessing action from the game that entails Zimbabwe doing battle up against Angola, while Lesotho will be up against Botswana later on in the day. But of course, we're focusing on the big one, Zimbabwe up against Angola, as we talk about the possibility of Angola making it to the next stage. A must-win encounter for Angola, and one is tempted to think, look, they're playing one of the best teams as far as this tournament is concerned, and they have to put in a lot. Noah?
Yes, you know, Angola, they are coming into this encounter. Everything, they just to give everything to win this game. You know, they've got nothing to lose, and you know, they've only made one change in their lineup, which shows like they've got that continuity, and you know, they haven't lost a game, they haven't tested a loss yet, and they are facing this much improved Zimbabwean team, but with a lot of changes they've made, I doubt maybe Angola could take this encounter.
All right, Timothy, when you look at Angola, I mean, they are able to hold on to possession, but they seem to be lacking, you know, somewhere. Where are they getting it wrong?
Look, Angola, they have been very underachievers at this stage. The under 20 category, you know, in comparison to their senior side where they have been winning trophies. So for me, given their performance against Lesotho and Botswana, they really got the penalties in the first 10 minutes. They couldn't convert them, and that, you know, converted into, ended up being pressure onto them to try and find goal. The goals have eluded them. Football-wise, you could see that they understand what they want to do on the field of play, playing well. What kept the scoreline 0-0 against Botswana was just the goalkeeper. So it's very important to remain calm. No matter how long it takes 90 minutes to try and get a victory. They need to be in control of their destiny, because only them can find, you know, the 3 points and the 2 goals. By the way, they need to score 2 goals to try and eclipse to go as, to qualify as the best runners-up.
Do you think it's far-fetched to think of, you know, Angola, this squad which is on the screen right now, scoring more than 2 goals up against Zimbabwe, which wants to have, you know, a 100% record regards the group stages of the tournament?
Yes, you know what, Angola, they are coming here in this look the way they are entering. You know, they are so confident. They know they haven't tested a loss yet at this tournament. They are coming here believing like you can really beat Zimbabwe. Although Zimbabwe, they've already qualified. So I think, you know, they've taken the foot out of the pedal a little bit. You know, with the changes they've made, they've already qualified. They are resting players for the semi-final. I think Angola, they stand a very, very good chance to win this game.
Well, we're talking about the possibility of Angola standing a chance as far as, you know, this fixture is concerned. But for Zimbabwe, they've made 8 changes to their squad that got them the, you know, 3 maximum points that makes them comfortably sail into the, you know, semi-finals. Are you shocked by this, Noah?
Yes, I am. You know, the 8 changes is quite a lot, but you know, it's a development stage. You have to give a run to many players. But you know what, the players like Murimba and Tumba, you know, they've been so instrumental. And Murimba is the top scorer at the moment. He's having 3 goals. But resting him, do you think he's going to come in a semi-final and continue his scoring boots like he has been scoring? Resting him if you go into Europe, if a player has been scoring goals, you don't rest them. You want them to continue the momentum of scoring goals. But I don't know the strategy the coach has used on here.
All right, Timothy, if you were the Zimbabwean coach, would you have done the same?
Look, at this point in time, he did give the explanation that he wants to give a run to the rest of other, you know, team squad members so that, you know, they can also have a feel of the tournament. And for me, that's very crucial to keep the cohesion of the team together. But for me, what was shocking about his decision was, you know, to take out the goalkeeper, his top striker, and the defenders. Normally, you don't tamper with the back line, especially. But for the striker, there's always an opportunity for them to always come on, you know, to try and, you know, have a number of minutes into their legs. But what is important to his decision is the fact that they have played so many games in a short period of time. So his decision may be informed by that he wants to rest them so that when it comes to the semi-finals, they are really energized and fresh to be able to compete and give themselves a chance to go to the finals.
All right. Noah, when you look at the Angolan squad, the coach has made one change. You think that's enough for them to get the results here?
Yes, if you look at the changes he has made, it's only one. So there is a continuity in his team, and he believes in his team. Like he just he doesn't. He's not even planning for the semi-final. He's planning for this game. He has to win this game. Then he will focus on the games which are coming ahead. So he needs 2 goals to qualify, and this is what he's just hoping to do this afternoon.
All right. Well, you're smiling, Tim. Do you think that one change is sufficient? But you answer that question later on, because we go on a short break. When we get back, we'll be getting to find out more about what the gentlemen think about this particular encounter. Zimbabwe up against Angola, a must-win for Angola. Do they have enough ammunition? We shall be finding out shortly.
At World Remit, we started with a single goal: to create a better way to send money to Africa, a way that's faster and easier, to mobile, to bank accounts, to thousands of locations across Africa, anytime, anywhere. That's why millions of customers use our service. With World Remit, you can easily receive money from family and friends today. World Remit, a better way to receive money.
Good evening, Africa. This is Football Fundies. I would encourage people to grab some popcorn.
So what's your problem? They've never kicked anything round, and they're called Minister of Sport.
Everyone is being bribed.
They're taking money out of pockets, giving it to the referees. And the fans are watching that and they're thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah, it looks like it's a Tatama chance.
At the end of your day, ours is just getting started.
Good evening, Africa. Welcome to Kwese Sports.
We are the Kwese Sports News Team.
Wow.
Live on air,
Monday to Friday.
online, any device, anywhere. Sports news never stops, and neither do we. Never miss a thing. We'll keep you connected. Only on Kwese Sports. For the fan.
Because inside every one of us lives the need to feel, the need to belong, the need to explode with joy, the need to dream, the need to be a fan. Which is why Kwese Sports lives for the fan.
At World Remit, we started with a single goal: to create a better way to send money to Africa, a way that's faster and easier, to mobile, to bank accounts, to thousands of locations across Africa, anytime, anywhere. That's why millions of customers use our service. With World Remit, you can easily receive money from family and friends today. World Remit, a better way to receive money.
Hello and welcome back to the match build-up of the game that is a must-win encounter for Angola as they take on one of the heavyweights from this region. It's Zimbabwe, who are their opposition, and Angola must win this encounter for them to progress to the next stage of the competitions. The two tacticians, of course, have their own thoughts in the build-up to this particular encounter, and of course for coach Big Temba Ndlovu of Zimbabwe, he's made 8 changes to his squad, while coach Pedro has made 1 change. Let's take a look and listen to what they have to say before this particular encounter. Coach, you've made 8 changes to the squad that got you the results of the previous encounter. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I think we've made 8 changes to the team that played the 2 games. I think both the first and the second game, it was the same players, and as we have qualified to the semis, we want to give everyone, I think, a chance to play and show what can give us, and going to the semis, then we can select from all of them. We can select a stronger team that will compete with Zambia. And also another reason is we cannot go back home as a player, as a youngster, without playing a game in a tournament like this one. I think it can kill the confidence of some of my boys. So that's why we are giving them this game to show also what they can do, and to make everyone happy, I think, in the team.
What's the mood in camp right now, and as far as this tournament is concerned?
The mood in camp right now is very, very high. The boys have got confidence after winning the 2 games, and from what I see in their eyes, just looking at them, the confidence and the spirit, I think they are ready to go all the way, and we will take it by game. Even this one, we are serious about it. We want to win it. We want a win. We want to win all the games if possible.
Coach, thank you very much, and all the best.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Coach, you've made 1 change to your squad. What's going on here?
Well, today is our chance. We missed other chances to win, so I think at 3rd match we will win. We deserve to win the other matches, I think. So we have confidence, and if we played like last Masters, for sure, today we have chance to score it and pass to the second phase. That's our goal, and we will try.
You've only scored one goal in 2 matches. What do you hope to do different for you to get the maximum goals that you need in this particular encounter?
Yes, we need to improve the finish phases, but we create a lot of opportunities. Sometimes football have that kind of situation, so we believe today will be different.
All right. Do or die encounter, how do you describe the atmosphere in camp right now?
Yeah, in one part of view is very important, that kind of pressure, because really we always have 3 matches of under pressure, because we missed in the beginning of the first match a penalty 5 minutes after we conceded 1 goal. So you always under pressure. So that pressure, I think, will be good to develop the kids, and that kind of situations is in senior teams, in professional teams. They will have a lot of them. So it's one step more for develop. So we believe today.
Right. Coach, thank you very much for your time, and wish you the best.
Thank you. All the best to you too.
Pretty much thoughts of the 2 tacticians who will be going head on in as far as this encounter is concerned. Let's get your opinion about what the coach of Zimbabwe said. If you were in his shoes, how would you approach this encounter?
Yes, you know what, if you have been winning, you've won 2 games in a row, and resting many players like 8, it was just too much. You know, you've got 3 substitutes you can make. If you want to rotate them and you manage your team, you don't have to take out your core of the team. All but right. He has taken out almost everyone. 8 changes is just too much. With me, I would have just brought in those ones I want to see to go in. And you will have it difficult if these players who are playing today, they do well, they score many goals. What is he going to do now in the semi-final? Does he have to rest them, or he has to bring those guys he has rested today? All right, Tim, your impression about what the coach has said, of Angola. Would you do anything different if you were in his shoes?
No, I wouldn't do anything different because there is that cohesion that has been there. There is that anger, the desire to try and go to the semi-finals that is displayed by the players. They were let down by their own by not scoring a goal against Botswana to go through. So for me, a tactical change. It was a tactical change. Bringing in Jensen. For me, what is very important is that they get the win. I wouldn't have done anything different. It's adamant that that team can still get the 2 goals to make sure that they qualify for the semi-finals.
Your prediction?
I'll give it to Angola.
To Angola?
Yeah.
You want to give us a scoreline?
3-1.
3-1 in favor of Angola. Do you agree, Noah?
Yes, with this encounter, with the changes these Zimbabweans have made, I think I can give it to Angola. Yeah. But the scoreline could be 2-0.
Hey, 2-0 for Angola. So both of you are predicting that Angola will win this particular encounter. So coming up shortly, it's Zimbabwe up against Angola. A must-win for Angola. The gentlemen think that Angola will back this one. But hey, let's wait and see until the end of this particular encounter. It's coming up next.
At World Remit, we started with a single goal: to create a better way to send money to Africa, a way that's faster and easier, to mobile, to bank accounts, to thousands of locations across Africa, anytime, anywhere. That's why millions of customers use our service. With World Remit, you can easily receive money from family and friends today. World Remit, a better way to receive money.
Africa, your Sunday just got a whole lot better. We're bringing you one NBA game every Sunday. Don't miss all the non-stop "oh no he didn't, oh yes he did" moments. Coming to you live and uninterrupted. The NBA 2018-19 season, exclusive to Kwese Sports.
I was fortunate to be part of the first ever Youth World Cup for the U19 age group, and it was a turning point in my career where I really learned how to become more of a professional. I look back on those years and it's where I really learned what it was going to take to excel at the highest level. And I was fortunate to be part of that U19 Youth World Cup, which we won. And then I transitioned to the full team. If I didn't have that Youth World Cup experience, it would have been harder for me to make that adjustment.
Good evening, Africa. This is Football Fundies. I would encourage people to grab some popcorn.
So what's your problem? They've never kicked anything round, and they're called minister of sport.
Everyone is being bribed.
They're taking money out of pockets, giving it to the referees, and the fans are watching that and they're thinking, what is going on here?
Yeah, it looks like it's a Tatama chance.
This week on Ganya.
Unalane?
Ay, mamu hapana, ninalaji na yeye.
Nilijua tu unanitanganya. Ni nini wewe, hebu niachilie?
Usimamu nini kunihusu wewe?
Nilimwambia nini?
Si ndio? Siwe Moz. Niambie utakaje. Mamu.
Don't miss Ganya. Exclusive to Kwese iFlix.
At World Remit, we started with a single goal: to create a better way to send money to Africa, a way that's faster and easier, to mobile, to bank accounts, to thousands of locations across Africa, anytime, anywhere. That's why millions of customers use our service. With World Remit, you can easily receive money from family and friends today. World Remit, a better way to receive money.
Mopani Copper Mines, proud title sponsor of the 2018 COSAFA Under-20 Championship. Mopani, mining safely for the future.
It has been a week of interesting football, and there's nation of Zimbabwe up against Angola. Zimbabwe through to the semi-finals. They will be taking on Zambia already. Angola needs to win this encounter today for them to qualify for the semi-finals. Waiting in the lines on the ropes, it has to be Mozambique, who will be hoping that they don't get those points here. Mozambique, who will be hoping that they don't get those points here. Mozambique, who will be hoping that they don't get those points here. Mozambique, who will be hoping that they don't get those points here. Mozambique, who will be hoping that they don't get those points here. Mozambique, who will be hoping that they don't get those points here. These kids are out enjoying themselves, sitting on the trees and getting ready for what will be another interesting tussle between the two nations. That is Zimbabwe against Angola. There have been a few meetings between the two nations over the years. We'll talk about the permutation, what needs to happen, and also what the rules say in this tournament when it comes to who will qualify for the semi-finals between Mozambique and Angola. Should Angola win, we'll tell you the number of goals they have to score, what needs to happen overall. So Angola and Zimbabwe have had a few meetings already. 2001-0, Angola won that game. It was a goalless draw, and they met in 2001. It was the final when Angola lost back-to-back finals against Zimbabwe, first via penalties, and the other one, it was a 1-0 victory courtesy of Mkokeli Dube. 2003 they met as well. 2004 they met in this tournament as well. And if you look at the head-to-head, you'll realize overall, in the previous matches played, 8 in total. Angola have won 5, 3 have been won by Zimbabwe, 1 drawn, and eventually went all the way to penalties. So that's how they won their 3 matches, Zimbabwe, in comparison to how they played against the Angolans. It is all about Group C today. Match here between Angola and Zimbabwe. The other one, Lesotho and Botswana. Zimbabwe through. Angola needs to go through. Can they make it through? Let's start the national anthem first to offer the Zimbabweans.
Pela nossa independência, honramos o passado, a nossa história, construindo no trabalho. Marchemos combatentes angolanos, solidário com os povos. A paz com as forças progressistas do mundo.
So, national anthem with 2 nations have been sung here between Zimbabwe and Angola. It is all about playing and trying to qualify for the next stage for the Angola and Zimbabwe. We'll be using this to prepare for the game against Zambia in the semi-finals. So the men in charge of this encounter here talking about from a Zimbabwean point of view, they do have the Begitemba Ndlovu. He was here last year as well as a head coach. He has now done well, managed to get his team to qualify for the next round of the so in fact, they were the first nation to qualify for this year's tournament. So we'll be looking looking and seeing how that one is going to be. Let's first talk about this one. A very important coach. A total of 8 changes made by the head coach of the Zimbabwean under-20 team then. Also talking about Frank Kuchinei making his first start in this tournament. In fact, the players were making a first start in this tournament, 9 in total for the Zimbabweans.
Oh, yes, Brian, I can see that Zimbabwe have made so many changes. At times, it's not good for the team to make so much changes. I've experienced that when I went with the senior national team, that was in Ethiopia for the COSAFA tournament. We had 4 teams in our team. It was Malawi, Djibouti, Sudan, and we won our first 2 games, and then the next thing, the biggest mistake I did was to rest some of the players in the last game against South Sudan, and unfortunately we lost that game 2-1. Yes, we had already qualified, but it meant that we are going to meet the stronger team, which was Uganda, in the quarterfinals. So at times it works in your favor, like what Zimbabwe they did now. It's 8 substitution, 8 changes is just too much for a team to make, because the players have to keep the momentum to be ready for the semi-finals.
So it is indeed here looking at the Angolans. They've only made 1 change. In comes in his Gelson on a players from the 2017 edition. They've kept majority of the players. Carlos is in goals once again. Nalapero talk about it is Pedro Agostinho. That is the captain of the side. Liberal Daniel is the man that came off the bench and scored the equalizer on a play in the previous game. Felicio Joao Milson. That's the man we were talking about. Yes, Pedro Soares Concalves, the man from Portugal, 42 years of age, formerly with Primeiro de Agosto, as well as the national team. That's where he coached. He's the man that took the under-17 to the Africa Cup of Nations for under-17 next year in Tanzania. The draw happened on the 28th of this month. They defeated South Africa in the final to qualify for the tournament. So he's a key man in this team. Can they go on to the next stage? Begitemba Ndlovu, a young man from Bulawayo. He played his football for Highlanders, Morocco Swallows, Platinum Stars, Black Aces, Bantu, as well as the Highlanders before eventually becoming a coach. He was here last year. He's back yet again this year as the head coach of the under-20 of Zimbabwe. They always say winning is just like a illness. It rubs off on you. Every time you win, the more confident you get, coach.
Definitely, yes, Brian. Zimbabwe, they've done well in the last 2 games. Yes, Angola only scored 1 goal, but this time this is a must-win for them, and they need to go all out and try and create those goal scoring opportunities so that they can get a goal.
So Angola have been one of the most enterprising team in this tournament, but that counts for nothing if they don't qualify for the next stage, because Mozambique are waiting on the ranks to see which one of this will be able to take a place in the next round. We will find out in a bit, but it's still a long way to go. It's a long way to go as far as this concerned. We're watching this very closely. At the moment, it is the 2 nations battling it out. Here comes the ball played on the far side of the field. It is Liberals playing the ball and intercepted by Zimbabwe. Collected here by one of the new players in the starting 11, Kelvin Ndebele. All the way back and eventually cleared away by Munashe Garananga, a young man from Harare, 17 years of age, from Ubuntu FC, making his first start in this tournament. Here comes Agostinho, playing the ball short near side. Pepe marching on forward for Angola. Pepe into the penalty area and just been taken away from him. Agostinho gets the ball back. Agostinho goes for a shot. And this one straight to the goalkeeper, Frank Kuchinei. Frank Kuchinei, a man from Erentials in Zimbabwe, 19 years of age, his first appearance at the COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship. He was sitting on the bench. Tinotenda Ali, rather, was the key goalkeeper for the few matches. Also last year, was in goals for the Zimbabweans. It's a long ball forward here for Zimbabwe. Flicked on. Pepe leaving the ball. Emmanuel Jalai. Only 2 players have played in all the matches for Zimbabwe so far in this year's tournament. Emmanuel Jalai playing right back, and as well as Brennan Mpofu is playing left back this time around for the Zimbabweans. Those are the 2 that have been featured in all the matches, while the others, majority of those, including their captain, is on a bench for this encounter. And the top scorer of the tournament, talking about Delika Murimba, another one on the bench. So Felicio Joao, he's a key player, isn't he? Milson, I know that Sundowns are looking at him very closely, plays football in Portugal, but he's going to get special attention. Key players and special players get special attention. Daisy, the 19-year-old, does have 2 potency for Portuguese as well as Angolan, respectively. Here they are on the near side. He's better known as Milson around the world of football. So you have in most of the Portuguese-speaking nations, they always have the phonetic names, just to avoid having to go through the long names and getting confused in between. Yes, Daniel Liberal, the only male player to score a goal so far for Angola. It is Milson now. Milson still going. Milson for a shot. Milson shoots, and a ball to the deflection goes wide. Corner kick will be to the Angolans.
That's great skill from Nelson there. It was a good shot, got a little bit of a deflection. Quality player.
So corner kick it is now to the Angolans. First 4 minutes of this game. Kuchinei, the goalkeeper, called into action. Header! Into the back of the net. Kuchinei is standing. Liberal scoring his 2nd goal of the tournament. Came off the bench. That is Liberal Daniel. When he came off the bench in a game when they're playing against Lesotho, he found the equalizer. Got a start in the previous one. Played very well. Couldn't find the back of the net. He has done exactly that here today. Look at the run of the ball. Managed to wait there, got underneath the ball, into the back of the net. Poor defending from Zimbabwe. Absolutely poor defending.
The coach must be very happy there. They got the goal at the right time. Angola has done well the first 5 minutes. They're putting pressure on Zimbabwe. They're doing well. They are not giving them room to play from the defense.
So 5 minutes of football played already. Zimbabwe are trailing by 1-0 against Angola. And the man has got a ball, Liberal Daniel. He does. He's one of those who also started playing his football for Villa. For Villa, Boa Vista playing for, he went on to play for Sporting CF at under 15, under 17 level currently. Signed to Chievo Verona in Italy. He's got 2 goals so far. Yeah, he's on a ball. Daniel takes the ball in straight to the goalkeeper this time around.
Not too much power there from Daniel. I think he could have done better.
Coach did mention that he'll be looking to see how this game will unfold for them. They'll be looking to fight very hard here. They'll be looking to get the goals. They know 2 goals will see them through into the next round. And then even if they do concede and they go on to win by 3-1 or 3-2, that also count very good for them, because they'll, after head-to-head, and looking at the fact that the 2 teams are not in the same group alongside Mozambique, they'll therefore look at how they finish goal different-wise, and that will be tied. Then they will go to the other one, who scored more goals, as you go down the ranking and see how things have actually been. So that is coming from the Council of Southern Africa Football Association's rules and regulations for the 2018 Under-20 COSAFA Youth Championship being played here in Zambia.
Marvin, let's win the ball. There is a throw-in, man.
As you can see there, Peggy Tamba not happy at all at the moment where things are going. Scoreline at the moment, it is in favor of the Angolans, 1-0. 1-0 will still mean that Mozambique will advance if Angola wins here by 1-0. So that's a long clearance taken forward. So when they look at the rules of this tournament, Article 4, talking about the first round, at the end of the first round, winner of each group and the best loser from 3 groups shall qualify for the semi-finals. So if 2 teams are equal on points on a basis of the criterion of having been seeing the group stages and how things have gone, how that will be decided, it will be the greater number of points obtained in matches between the 2 teams. Since these didn't play in the same group, that falls away. Then B of that says the goal difference in matches between teams concerned. That should be the key one. So that will be equal as it stands at the moment. The third one will say the greatest number of goals scored in matches, and that's where we'll actually have to look at that to decide who will be able to advance. At the moment, even though it is still +1 between the two teams, given the goal scored here today by Angola, but then the fact that Mozambique could have scored more goals, even though they might have the same goal difference and conceded more, we'll see them advance. So I hope that is clear. Coach?
Yeah, yes, it's very clear, Brian.
So let's see the ball playing on the far side of the field here. Cutting inside, it is the Angolans. Daniel Liberal. In the ball short towards the far side now. They're really such silky on the passing, on the way they play their football. This Angolan. Nippy footwork as well. Here comes Agostinho on the near side, playing the ball early towards Milson in the penalty area. Goes tumbling down on his own.
I like the approach of the Angolans, especially in this first 10 minutes. They are very aggressive. They are not giving the room to the Zimbabwean midfielders to play.
So the best placed loser position shall be applied to second position teams in the groups and shall be determined according to the criteria in the order given, which is the higher number of points the teams concerned obtain in group matches, superior goal difference the teams concerned had in group matches, higher number of goals the teams concerned scored in group matches, and then right at the bottom, fair play conducted, or fair play conduct of the teams concerned in terms of yellow or red cards accumulated in group matches. So we will be looking at number 8 of the rules of this tournament. So I tell you, what you want to see, coach, is simple stuff. But football has rules. So that's always complicate things sometimes. Near side of a ball played in Pedro. Moise playing the ball short. Long one from Pepe. Run being made here. Gelson cleared away by the Zimbabweans. Pepe will restart play at the back. Moise playing the ball short now to Pepe. Pepe goes towards the far side where Braulio is standing. Braulio playing the ball short now towards Patricio Adalmiro. Middle of a park, it is Liberal Daniel. Early ball now towards Milson. Cleared away. Collected by the Zimbabwean captain of the day, Clive Ropia. He is the only player in the Zimbabwean squad to have played in the previous 2 editions of this tournament. He was there in South Africa in 2016. He was here last year, and he's now playing in his 3rd COSAFA Under-20 Youth Championship tournament. Young man from Zwimba in Zimbabwe. 18 years of age, former player for Sprouting FC.
And this is where match fitness counts. You can tell that the Zimbabweans, this is their first game in this tournament. The Angolans, they've got their rhythm. This is their 3rd game in the tournament. They didn't make so many changes like Zimbabwe.
The Angolans fresh from winning the COSAFA Under-17 Youth Championship, where they defeated South Africa in the final by 1-0. And the best player of the tournament on the bench is Zito Luvumbo. And they will be playing in Tanzania next year. To know that also the top 4 will therefore qualify for the World Cup. So it is looking very good. And the same coach is sitting on the bench now. Pedro was the man in charge of the Under-17. Zimbabwe double teaming on him, getting the ball away on the far side of the field. It is Pedro Adalmiro. Still Adalmiro going on the far side. Adalmiro beat his marker, cut inside. Adalmiro still going. He's still going, Adalmiro, into the penalty area. He goes in, Adalmiro. Looking to cut the ball inside, cleared away. No. Goal kick, says the referee. He had ran the entire field and then eventually ran out of ground as Zimbabwe meant to get the ball away. But they didn't have enough support when they went forward there.
But very good skill from Amira there, showing lots of energy.
The last time Zimbabwe defeated Angola in this tournament, you got to go back to when they played the final That was their second win in 2002. Then in 2003, Zimbabwe lost 1-0. And when they last won a game was in 2004. And it was at the Caledonian Stadium in Pretoria in South Africa. Zimbabwe won the game by 2-1. Kingston Nkata, man is doing duty now in South Africa, one of the goal scorers. As well as Chico Zore, one of the goal scorers for the Zimbabweans in a third place playoff match. After they lost to South Africa and Zambia in the semi-final respectively. And that was on the 4th of December when that game was played. Then the last time they met was on the 14th of December 2013. Angola won that game by 2-0 in Lesotho. Manuel Afonso, the top scorer of the tournament, scoring on a day, as well as Kapemba. Here comes Milson. Early ball towards Liberal Daniel, the penalty area now for the Angolans. Milson asking for the ball again at the edge. Close down. Milson fights for the ball. Zimbabwe get it back this time around with Tatenda Muringani. He's a cut above the rest of the players. Special player.
No, he is a special player indeed. But I like the way the Angolans, when they lose the ball, when they regain the ball quickly, the way they keep their position and keep shape, and they're very quick with their movement of the ball. It's good for the eyes to watch.
Last match for these teams in the group stages of this tournament. Ball collected at the back here for the Angolans by Poitre Moise. Sends a long one forward. Kid away there from Gelson. Collected again, the Angolans. Middle of a park, ball played in this time around. Fernando Duarte planning his captain Agostinho. He finds Pepe near side of a field for Angola still. Laying the ball short this time towards Aison. Aison looks up. Here comes Milson. Near side Agostinho for the Angolans. Agostinho plays a dummy, long ball in, header coming in, cleared away by the Zimbabweans. Only as far as an Angolan player yet again. Played short this time around. Aison gets a return pass. Aison looks up, goes in one side towards Duarte, but he chooses to go and finds support coming through from Adalmiro. Adalmiro coming back again now for the Angolans. They are the ones looking for the goals, and they look determined to find those goals today.
No, they are looking very determined, and are winning all the second balls. Their reaction speed is very, very, very good.
It's another good passing game, but eventually Zimbabwe do get the ball back. Pepe alongside Milson on the near side of the field, and it will be goal kick to Frank Kuchinei. Sends a long one forward. Adalmiro gets there, protects the ball, and next to him was Clive Rupia as the ball goes out of play. Can tussle there, pushing on the player, struggling to get to the ball, eventually having to foul player near him. Goal kick given to the Angolans. Carlos sends a long ball forward. So they only scored their second goal of this tournament, Angola, by the way. Zimbabwe scored 6 times already and just conceded their second goal of this tournament. Daniel Liberal. This man has scored a goal so far. In fact, he's the only player to score goals this tournament for Angola. He scored in a 1-1 draw against Lesotho coming off the bench. He has now scored again today for the Angolans.
I think it's getting better, Daniel, with the games. The first game he came in as a substitute, and then he played full 90 minutes the second game. And the coach is happy, I'm sure.
Pedro is a man that really talks passionately about the football. He does not mince his words. I mean, he wants to see results. He wants to see things going. Daniel is in there, gets underneath the ball, cleared away by the Zimbabweans. Collected by Zimbabwe, played near side of a field. Here comes Marvin Sibanda. Sends a long one forward. Rupia is available on the far side. Rupia goes on the outside lane. The ball short again. Zimbabwe lining up the ball. It's a good ball into the penalty area. Header coming in. And just over the crossbar. I think he misjudged his jump there, coach.
Yes, I think he missed because he went in front of the defender. That was a very good opportunity for him because I think the defender was sleeping there.
So 1-0, the scoreline remains in favor of Angola in this first half Group C encounter. In 2016, Zimbabwe lost 5-1 the opening game against eventual champion Zambia, with Sibanda scoring the only goal for them. They played a goalless draw afterwards when they played against Malawi. Then their last game in Group B, Zimbabwe. So see the challenge coming in again. They were in a group that had three countries each, which was Group B and Group C. And the fact that we finished third, in men they never played their third game of that group. The combined group involved 1-2 in Group B and 1-2 in Group D, where it was Malawi and Zambia and DR Congo and Mozambique were the ones that played the combined groupings. So they only scored 1 goal in the 2016 edition of this tournament, Zimbabwe. And then 2017 was also going to be a slightly tough year for them. After opening with a goalless draw against Lesotho, Zimbabwe, they followed it up. They were in Group C just like they were this year. And then the next game they played, Zimbabwe, was a match against Angola, which is where they managed to walk away 1-0 victorious in that game in 2017. Then now, here they are again the same Angola, for playing a goalless draw when they played against Namibia in their last game. But then they missed out on advancing to the next stage, the Zimbabweans. Yes, it was the Egyptians who advanced as the best second place team. Here they are now, still Milson plus the ball straight in front of his teammate. Chance there for Gelson, try and get to the ball. Foot up and a free kick given by the referee.
Good skill there by the number 11, Mason from Angola. But I think the decision making is important. He went into the box there. You were supposed to create for somebody. It was a big chance for them.
So there's a challenge there from the Angolan player, and then Rupia remains on the ground here for Zimbabwe. So of all the matches, it's only 1 match drawn between these two nations. As mentioned, there was 1 by Zimbabwean penalties, but the other 3 were outright wins for Zimbabwe, and then Angola does dominate with 5 outright wins in the matches between these two nations and this tournament. So Rupia is the man that was caught late, twice off the bench, his first start of this tournament for Zimbabwe. Long ball penalty that cleared away by Angola, and push there coming on Gelson, going to the ground. It was in fact Duarte who went to the ground on the far side of the field for the Angolans. So Zimbabwe already having some players warming up. Ball goes out near side of the field. We are now approaching the halfway mark of the first half. Still Angola leading by 1-0. Outside the penalty area, asking too much of his countrymen there. But the ball still alive here for the Angolans. Cleared away by Zimbabwe finally. And that will be a throw-in next to the corner flag on the near side of the field. And will be taken here by Pepe. Playing the ball short, Zimbabwe get the ball back again, clearing it only as far as Ison. Ison looks up and cleared away again next to the Zimbabwean dugout.
You can see the Zimbabweans, they're struggling to put the 3 passes together. They're losing the balls cheaply. shows a lack of match fitness.
6 times champions Zimbabwe. Last came in 2007. Angola 4 times runners-up in this tournament. They have the record that nobody wants to envy of 3 finals in a row, losing all of them. Here comes Milson, looking for support. Milson playing the ball short. Agostinho! +1 over the crossbar. Another good chance here for the Angolans. Not far off. Not far off at all from Agostinho. Good shot, but just over the crossbar. Once again, the danger man. Milson was the one that eventually played the ball. And over the crossbar, the ball went. Chance now, far side of the field. Adalmiro, Duarte, Ison for Angola. Pepe, near side of the field. Back again towards Ison. All the way back now towards Pedro Moise. Looks for support. Orane Moise playing the ball short again. Agosto is in there. Agostinho rather. But looks like Rupia is unable to continue. He went out. He was what, twice injured. And looks like it is going to be very difficult for him to continue. So it is Rupia on the far side for the Zimbabweans.
It was a great shot there by Augustine, created by Ferisho. But I personally feel he's the one player that you can win Angola this game. He's got to get his decision making right. I think he should have released that ball early.
So Rupia will be able to continue with the game. He'll just need some magic spray and things will be back to normality in a short while. Angola, even though they finished as runners-up 4 times, twice they lost against the Zimbabweans. One of those was on penalties, one was in open play. They also lost against South Africa and Zambia in the final. They finished third on 2 occasions, 2008, 2013, and 4 finishers rather twice also in 2004 and 2016. The Zimbabweans champions in 1985, 88, 90, 2001, 2002 and 2017. A few times runners-up as well for the Zimbabweans. And third finishers on a few occasions as well for the team from Zimbabwe. Here comes Duarte. Liberal, Daniel. Ball moves away from him. Zimbabwe already know who they are playing in the next game. They will be up against the host nation, Zambia, in the semi-finals. Here they come again on the far side. Long ball in, chance in. Oh, liberal Daniel. But it was a good toss coming through from Emmanuel July to deny them their second goal of this game. Beautiful T-ball there, and it was very crucial touch that he got to move the ball away from a man who was unmarked with a yawning net in front of him. Pepe's ball, far post, headed back again, but the Angolan's keeper comes out and collects. Out goes the ball, and it will be a corner kick given to the Zimbabweans. "27 minutes of the first half has come and gone. Here's a long ball in for the Zimbabweans. Free kick given against Free kick given this time around against the Zimbabweans. Zimbabwe need to find the equalizer. But then once again, the coach can be able to pick up some of the mistakes from this game ahead of the semi-final. Well, we might say 8 changes might just be too much, but then again, you need to see how many players you have. You need to check how you're going to go going forward.
Yes, Brian, but like I said, they've already got a few days to prepare for the semi-finals, and the team which is playing now, for definitely about 8 or 9 players won't be playing in that cup final. You have your top goal scorer Mulimbe, who's not part of this squad today. As a striker, you want to play in all the games. He's scored 3 goals so far.
So the mistake at the back here from the keeper, and lucky escape here for the Angolans as the ball is collected. Corner kick will be on the far side.
There was no communication there from the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper needs to command. He needs to talk to his defenders there.
Long ball in, keeper coming out, and then he's really straight into the path of his Zimbabwean player there in a Munashe Garananga, and the keeper going to the ground. So here comes Pedro Moises on the near side of the field now for the Angolans. Once again, the Angolans fighting for the ball back, and it is Ison who goes to the ground. Long one forward, chested down here by Gelson. Going forward again, Zimbabwe blessing Sarupinda. It is an important game here from both the Angolan point of view and the Mozambican point of view. In fact, the Mozambicans are in attendance here today watching this game. Sitting on a great stand next to the community position. They'll be really watching this game closely, close indeed here. They did their business yesterday. They got a draw. So ball goes out on the far side of the field. First half of this match, 31 minutes of football played. 14 remaining before you come to the end of the first half. So far, Angola leading by 1-0. They need one more goal to advance. The 1-0 victory will see Mozambique advance to the next stage. Here comes Angola, near side of the field. Ball played in early. Milson intercepted well here by Zimbabwe. Jalai has really been working his socks off. He's been made to work very hard today, the right back of Zimbabwe. Emmanuel Jalai, he's been working hard. Here he's on the ball once again, the young man from Bulawayo. Forward they go now, the Zimbabweans. Great challenge. Great challenge. Got the ball and eventually came off for the Zimbabwean player last. Daniel Liberal. Dispossessed there, it is Duarte. Fernando Duarte, another player from Primeiro de Agosto. Majority of the players from Primeiro de Agosto. Only a few coming outside of other teams. They also have in a starting 11 3 players playing outside of Angola. And those are the ones playing their football in Portugal, including one playing his football in Italy for Chievo Verona. So these are the Mozambicans who are watching very close. Some of the teams resting today and all finished. So let's see a chance in a penalty area. Ball just going over the crossbar. To remember, nations that are out, some will be leaving today, depending on flights and everything else. Some would probably be leaving later on today. And only those that are staying put for the semis and beyond will remain here. Oh, Zambia at home, by the way. So they'll remain here. So these will be hoping and looking very close. This is indeed Mozambique watching at the moment. Yeah, the ones they're watching from the far side. And the Mauritius are the ones that are watching next to the committee position where we are. Enjoying themselves here. It has been great football. I mean, they might have bowed out of the tournament, but they played very well in their last game.
No,
I mean, having
did.
lost the opener.
No, they did very well. But I like what I'm seeing from the Angolans. The way especially their captain, Augustine, he can see things. He can see things from far, trying to switch the balls from left to right. Him and Dwight, they're dominating that midfield. I'm about to watch.
Indeed, here ball played in this time around towards Liberal. Collecting the ball short, here's Duarte. Well closed down, collected by the Zimbabweans. Cutting inside, it is Ndebele's long ball forward this time around. And this one goes out of play. Yeah, they get the ball again, yeah. Moises all the way back to the goalkeeper, this time from Pepe. Carlos goes wide on the far side. It was good news to see from the Mauritian point of view, seeing the two Aristide brothers, David as well as Yannick. Yannick was a scorer in the last game. And seeing some of those players that I saw in 2000 this year when Mauritius played and hosted the COSAFA Under 17 Championship, all in here, the likes of Jean Michel, the goalkeeper in there, Jean-Francois, some of those were here. So it was great to see these young players, Under 17 team, being promoted to be part of the Under 20 team and doing well for themselves in their second game.
Definitely, the future looks very good for Mauritius. This is how we need to do. We need to develop these youngsters and let them participate in this tournament.
Also saw one scorer, talking about the players that Mauritius had in the tournament. Still remember the shot was struck and scored very well. Let's see this one going wide here from the Angolans. There was one beautiful goal scored in the 17 tournament, about 30 yards or so out. And a well-stuck ball there from Mauritius against Seychelles.
A great shot there from the captain, Augustine.
Augustine has really been the leader very well for Angola in the middle of a park, and he gets in those positions.
No, he does get stuck in. He's this kind of deep like midfielder. He can see things, and that's what you expect from this midfielder. He's a modern day playmaker.
He's truly enjoying himself in this tournament, and they'll be hoping that they stay on and continue in this tournament. When you look at the squad they had last year, some of those are not here. Here they are now on the far side of the field. So Pepe was here in 2017. Gelson was there as well in 2017. And then Pedro Agostinho was there in 2017 too, as he returns in this team. They also had a player called Zinedine Zidane, Moises Catrao. What a player that was in 2017, the Angolans. Vladimiro Antonio Felix, another player called simply VAR. Oh, star players they had in there. Manuel Costa, Bebo. They also had Jorge amongst the players. So they've changed things around here this time around. Throw in Zimbabwe, far side of the field. Brendan Mpofu. Cleared away, back to Brendan. Long ball forward. Easily protected there by Pedro Moises, and the goalkeeper restart play at the back. On the far side of the field, 1-0. It is Angola leading against Zimbabwe. 38 minutes of football played so far between the two nations. Here comes Pedro Agostinho. Dances around his marker. Dispossessed this time around by Rupia. And Ison gets the ball back. On the far side, Zimbabwe now marching on forward. Early ball into the penalty area. Pepe comes across and clears. Agostinho into the penalty area to Pepe. Blocked away by Zimbabwe. Goal kick will be to the Angolans.
I'm sure the Angolan coach must be very, very, very happy with the way the defenders are covering themselves. You look at the number 15, Moises Pedro Amal, and the number 2, bro, Jorge Manuel. They're keeping things very tight at the back.
We are sitting in the first half of this match between Angola and Zimbabwe. Group C match for the 2018 COSAFA Under-20 Championship being played in Zambia. The 25th edition of this tournament. 6 times champions Zimbabwe against 4 times runners-up Angola in a crucial Group C encounter. Long ball forward, run made by Felicio into the penalty. The goalkeeper comes out, still alive there for the Angola's. Penalty has been given. And he did very well to commit himself. Went to the goalkeeper. Keeper came out in no man's land and couldn't get the ball. And a mistake be made, and that young man who's been doing so well for the Angolans comes up once again with the goods. Now, the only worry that you'll have if you were a coach for Angola is that they once again get a penalty. The previous 2 have all been saved against Angola, by the way. They played and got a penalty against Lesotho. That was saved. Got a penalty against Botswana. That was saved. And now they have one again today. Who will take this one?
No, they just need to get one player who is confident enough to take that penalty. It's difficult for a coach to choose who must take it. One of the players who feels that I can go and take it, who feel confident to go and take the penalty, is the one who must go and take the penalty.
There's been 3 penalties awarded, and 1 scored by Joan Rusty of Mauritius, when Mauritius won by 4-0 against Eswatini. Then 2 saved. Milson's one was saved when he played against Lesotho by Matsie. And then Fernando Duarte's one was saved when he played in a goalless draw Angola against Botswana. Now they have the 3rd player to take the penalty in this tournament for them. Joao Mivo Gilson will take this one for Angola against Kuchinei. Let's see, can they convert 1 out of the 3 they've been given so far in this tournament? And all their penalties were given in the first half. All their penalties were given in the same goals where they're facing now, Angola. Are they going to be 3rd time lucky? Or is it going to be deja vu once again for Angola? 1-0 the score at the moment. They need to score this one. Keep things going. Let's see now. Stepping forward. It looks like a chance coming in. Into the back of the net. Gelson puts it. The goalkeeper moved, and then Gelson, yes, made it 2-0 now to the Angolans. And that might just be the goal that gets them through to the next stage, unless something happens in this game. Finally, they convert their chance.
Oh yes, Brian, they converted their chance, but we must go back to look how they created this chance. It was a killer pass from the midfield. I'm sure the coach is very happy. At 20-25 yards, just played it behind the defenders there. He caught the defenders napping, and unfortunately, number 11 Felicio was brought down in the box. It was a good goal for Duarte, from Duarte.
In fact, it is the 3rd time that he's been brought down in the penalty, that is Felicio. One of those, he got up himself and tried to score. He did not score. The 2nd game, he was also brought down, but somebody else took the penalty. It was Duarte. Then this time around, he goes down for the 3rd time in as many matches. And finally, Angola do find the back of the net. 3rd time lucky for the Angolans. Is that the goal that gets them to the next stage? We will find out in a bit. Zimbabwe 2-0 down. Ball played in just behind everybody. We're in the red and white of Angola. Collected again Zimbabwe, near side of the field, trying to play the ball to Rupia. Throw in will be to the Angolans near side of the field. Ball was played in from Thabo Lunga, not getting to the teammate. Zimbabwe now will look to pull one back, and tell you that should be the applause of Chansine, caught from behind. No, says the referee. Pepe for Angola. Pepe on the ball. First half of this match, we are left with a minute and a bit before we come to the end of this first half. Angola leading here by 2-0 against Zimbabwe.
They deserve the 2 goals. They've demonstrated, they've dominated the game. They've kept the structure.
Here they are on the far side again, Angola. Agostinho. That is Milson going to the ground. Real names are Felicio Joao, but he's known better as Milson. Who will be the ones advancing to the next stage of this tournament? Chansina